Welcome back, Star Wars fans, to episode 9 of Ronald's Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about my Empire Strikes Back Black Series 40th anniversary Luke Skywalker in Bespin Fatigues action figure. Very much like the AT-AT driver that I did a few weeks back, we're going to be talking about how it looks, the sculpt of the figure itself, displayability, cost, and if it's worth collecting. Cue the march. And there he is, guys. So, like the AT-AT driver that I reviewed a few weeks back, there's very little to sort of knock these figures, to sort of describe them. They're fantastic looking figures. The amount of design and sort of attention to detail, 13 points of articulation, so they're very poseable. You're able to put them in all types of positions and make them look good on display. I'm not gonna take this guy out of his packaging. I love how they look and I love how they display, and it's the vintage card back really. I love the vintage card backs. The guys at Hasbro have obviously done this to not only to appeal obviously younger collectors like these as well, but the older, more mature collectors, that can remember when the original figures were out and that these card backs would appeal to. Very little to sort of knock this figure down really. I think the only thing that I would again maybe say is something that I'm not massively keen on. I love the card back itself and the image, but in the 3 3/4 inch figures, if you recall, if anybody watching this used to collect those figures, you'll know that they did two different images on the Luke Skywalker in Bespin card back. I prefer the alternative one, if I'm honest. It's a more closer up picture of Luke and just sort of his face really. But this one, I'll just zoom in. I love the logo there. I think it looks great. But if you just look at the image, it's a good image, but it looks just a little bit computer generated to me. I'm not entirely sure that image is pulled straight from the movies. And I love the fact that when they had the vintage card backs, I love that they used an image just pulled straight from the movie. But that looks a little bit computer generated to me. I'm not convinced that image was actually in Empire Strikes Back. But as far as the figure goes, I mean, again, love the logo. I think the Empire Strikes Back logo is the best looking one of the three. And then if we just go down and look at the figure in a little bit more detail, I mean, the face sculpt is good. I think his jawline is possibly a little bit square, but apart from that, really like it. They've got the lightsaber colour correct. Again, you'll know back in the day when Kenner produced this figure back in 1979 and 80, they give him a yellow lightsaber. It's drove me crazy for years. I have looked into why that is. Could never find it out. You're welcome to try, but it is just a box of tricks that you can never make head or tail of. There's so many different theories and reasons out there that you never really find the definitive one. There are videos on YouTube that look into it as well, that are really interesting and really informative and quite amusing. The best one for me is from a guy called Michael French, Retro Blasting, and a video called "Don't Eat the Yellow Lightsaber." I recommend you watching that. It's really entertaining and actually informative as well. But yeah, I mean, these figures, they look great. Love the fact they've given him his blaster as well. A lot of people think this is Han Solo's blaster. Now, it is very similar to Han Solo's blaster, but this is just a smuggler blaster that is slightly different to Han Solo's, different colours on it, and a tiny difference in design, so don't confuse that with Han Solo's blaster. I also like the fact that they've put all the legal jargon and the fold up underneath. Now, they've just Hasbro have just released, I say just released a few years now. They've just released another wave, the Empire Strikes Back wave. But they fold up the paper and put them behind the figure, and ruins the displayability of the figure. So you're looking at the figure in his bubble, and it's just got a huge folded up piece of paper behind him, which just totally ruins the look. So with these, I love the fact they've just tucked them underneath the feet and tucked them away, so they're not encroaching on the displayability. So that's great. But yeah, nothing negative to say about this figure otherwise. Let's just quickly look at the back. There we go. Yeah, so the other characters in this wave. There is another wave coming. So yeah, look out for those. But again, yeah, same as the attack driver. There we go. So yeah, there we go, guys. I will be getting Han Solo in his Bespin outfit as well, so I'll do another review on that. But yeah, nothing really aside from the image, which is just personal choice really. Nothing negative to say about this figure. So there we go, guys. That is the Empire Strikes Back Black Series 40th anniversary Luke Skywalker in Bespin fatigues action figure. Again, like the attack driver that I reviewed a few weeks back, very, very little negative to say about these 6-inch figures. I've said before, the larger action figures have always sort of struggled with the 3 3/4 inch figures, because the smaller figures always had the vehicles to keep the lines going and keep things sort of fresh, whereas these only have the figures themselves to rely on and keep the lines going. I've never been a huge fan of the larger figures, but these ones, they're amazing. They're stunning looking figures. They're quite a good price for what they are as well. Do not pay more than £30 for these. I mean, you can pick these up between £20 and £25. For me, that's the price range you want to be looking at paying. I think if you're paying any more than that, you know, somebody's got them overpriced. But they're well worth between £20 and £25. I will put a link in the description below. They're currently on eBay by 2 or 3 sellers for that sort of price. I will put a link in the description below, so follow that link if you're interested. But yeah, Reynolds Reviews' final verdict is buy these figures, guys. Buy them, collect them. They are really worth the money, and they're so displayable with those vintage card backs, and they look so good now on a larger card back. They are well worth the money. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you feel you want to do so. And as always, keep collecting, everybody, and look out for the next video.